With 27 EU countries to choose from, how do you narrow it down? Or do you want to look at the Schengen zone countries? Well, then you have 29 to work with. And to go through and figure out which one to move to, retire in, and build that next new great adventure. Now picture this. You wake up on a crisp, sunny morning in Europe, maybe with a fresh croissant and a strong coffee. You open your banking app to check on your retirement savings, feeling relaxed. And then your jaw drops. You've blown through half your annual budget, and it's only March. Why? Because you accidentally picked the wrong country, with skyrocketing rents and a healthcare surcharge no one told you about. Seriously, that nightmare is a real risk for retirees, or anyone else for that matter, who chose the wrong European postcode. But stick with us, because we're going to make sure that doesn't happen to you. And look, we're not here to sell you some perfect fantasy. We're Americans from the Midwest, and we moved to Portugal 4 years ago. We've wrestled with the bureaucracy, and we're here to share what we've learned the hard way. Think of us as your friendly guides through the maze of European retirement. We've learned how to live on a single Social Security check, though that depends on how much your check is. And we've learned that for any official appointment, you show up with your entire folder of paperwork and plenty of time. You never know what they'll actually need, and you don't want to have to come back. So today, we're going to compare 5 of the most favorable European retirement visas, focusing on 3 things. First, how much cash you realistically need each month to not just survive, but thrive. Second, how good the local hospitals are. And third, how much of a headache the government paperwork will be. By the end of this, you'll have a clear idea of which country fits your bank account and your tolerance for bureaucracy. Any more than 5 today, and well, we just couldn't do them justice. So let's get started already. First up, we have Portugal. We know, we live in Portugal, and all you ever hear is Portugal this, Portugal that, and maybe you're getting sick of it. But we're going to kick things off with Portugal anyways, since it's been topping the charts, and has been for a reason. The D7 passive income visa has a low income requirement, though the exact amount is tied to the Portuguese minimum wage, which is currently €870 a month, or just under €11,000 a year. And here's the sweet deal. You can bring your spouse for an additional 50% of the income requirement. So for a couple, the required income is €1,305 a month. Now, there is talk that the path to citizenship might be changing. For years, it's been 5 years. But there are proposals to extend it to 10. So that's something to watch closely. Also, be aware that this is a visa for people who intend to live here. To renew your D7 visa, you'll need to spend at least 16 months in the country during the first 2-year permit period. Now, let's talk healthcare. Portugal's public system is very affordable. If you prefer private healthcare, insurance costs will go up as you age. For a couple in their late 60s or 70s, you can expect to pay a couple €100 a month, so you'll have to plan for that. As for living costs, we found that a couple can live nicely on the beautiful island of Madeira for about €3,000 a month. In the popular Algarve region, a realistic budget for a couple is more like €2,800 a month to live comfortably. We now live in northern Portugal, right on the border of Spain, where rents and property prices are more reasonable. But if you're from the Midwest like us, the prices might seem about the same as back home. The huge difference is the property tax. We're talking a few €100 a year versus the $10,000 a year we were paying back in the Midwest. But every place has its downsides. The biggest one, rents in Lisbon have jumped significantly. So for affordability, you'll want to look outside the capital. And bureaucracy is a thing. Our rule is to show up for any appointment with every single piece of paper that we own and be prepared to wait. Nothing runs on time. But the good news is, once it's your turn, they are incredibly patient and will work with you, even in English or just using a translation app, until everything is sorted out. Which is a lot better than the DMV back home. All in all, if you're looking for an accessible ticket into Western Europe, Portugal is a fantastic option. If you are coming, let our team of experts help you. We will link them in the description below. They're on our website. Number 2, Spain. All right. It's only a 30-minute drive to Spain, so it's quite easy for us to talk about. Its non-lucrative visa is popular, but asks for more money. For 2025, you'll need to show a passive income of about €2,400 a month, or €28,800 annually for the main applicant, plus an additional €600 a month for each dependent. It's a bigger financial hurdle, but it gives you access to an incredibly diverse country. Let's take Malaga, for example. It's a vibrant city on the Costa del Sol known for its safety and rich culture. A Californian could easily live there for 50% less than back home. The cost of living is quite reasonable once you're outside of the major tourist hubs. Healthcare in Spain is excellent, but it's managed regionally. This means the quality in Valencia might be different from a rural area. For private insurance, a couple can expect to pay around €220 a month, which is still a bargain compared to US prices. Now for the fine print. With Spain's non-lucrative visa, you cannot work. It's strictly for retirement or living off passive income. And citizenship is a longer road, requiring 10 years of continuous residency. You'll also need to prove you have a place to live, which usually means securing a 12-month lease before your visa is approved. On the plus side, Spain is generous with family inclusion, often allowing dependent parents to be included on your application if you can support them. So if your pension clears $3,000 a month, and you dream of a culture that schedules dinner at 10 o'clock, Spain offers a rich and passionate way of life. Next up, Greece, which might be the dark horse out of this bunch. Now, I love Greece for the food, but the visa benefits are what really stand out here. The Financially Independent Person Visa, or FIP, does have a high income requirement of €3,500 a month. It's a lot, but it comes with some perks. However, you are also, for this visa, not allowed to work in the Greek labor market. The FIP visa requires a stay of 183 days a year, for at least 6 months of the year to maintain this visa and become a tax resident. This is different from the Golden Visa, which is for investors and has no minimum stay requirement. The other big incentive is going to be the flat 7% tax on your foreign pension income for 15 years. If you have a sizable pension, that tax break alone could make the higher income requirement worth it. Now, let's move on to the healthcare. Public hospitals in Athens are generally fine, but the system can be as inconsistent, especially on islands. It's highly recommended to have robust private insurance, which might cost around €150 a month, add more if you're older. Once you're past the visa's income threshold, the actual cost of living can be very low. On an island like Crete, you could find a nice modern 2-bedroom apartment for around €750 to €1,000 a month, not some crumbling building with no air conditioning. So Greece is quietly becoming a top choice for retirees who want that Mediterranean lifestyle without the higher cost living prices of its neighbors. As for neighbors, Italy, the land of amazing food, deep culture, and a mountain of paperwork. Italy's elective residency visa is for people who love the idea of Italy and have patience for its bureaucracy. The visa requires a minimum passive income of €31,000 to €32,000 a year for a single person, which is around €2,600 a month. Like Spain, this visa strictly prohibits any kind of work. The consulate will also look very closely at health insurance to make sure it meets their standards. The reward for this hassle would be Italy itself. You're living in a country where history and art is part of your daily commute, and the healthcare is one of the best in Europe. Once you're a resident, you can join the public health service for a small annual fee, which covers just about everything. The cost of living really depends on where you are. In southern regions like Puglia, a couple could live well on €1,700 a month. In Milan, that same amount might not even cover your rent. So location's everything. Citizenship takes 10 years of residency, and you'll need to prove you have B1 level Italian. This means more than just ordering a coffee, you actually have to be able to hold a real conversation. So if you dream of travel festivals and Renaissance art, your pension can handle it. Italy is an incredible choice. It's a country that will embrace you, feed you well, and keep you on your toes. Now then, as for one we don't talk about that often on this channel, Austria. It's beautifully engineered, expensive, and comes with a huge rule. Absolutely no dual citizenship. That is to say, if you take down the path of the Austrian visa and want to become an Austrian citizen, you will have to give up your original passport. The income requirement is around €1,274 a month for a single person and €2,010 for a married couple. What you get for that is a country with crisp alpine air, almost no violent crime, and a healthcare system the OECD calls ridiculously good. Private insurance for a couple is about €300 a month, and the public system is world-class. Vienna is constantly ranked as the city with the best quality of life in the world. And surprisingly, you can still find a one-bedroom apartment in the city center for under €1,200 a month, which is cheaper than Denver. There are, of course, catches. You have to live in Austria for at least 183 days a year, though that's a common stat. To get permanent residency, you'll need to learn German to an A2 level, and again, that no dual citizenship rule tends to be a deal breaker for many. So if your retirement dream includes mountain hikes and world-class opera, and you're okay with a bureaucracy that loves its paperwork, Austria is a premium option. At this point in the video, I'd like to remind everyone to subscribe and like and send us a comment in the description telling us about what country you think could be your dream destination. As always, check out our Ultimate Moving Abroad program on our website, and while you're there, sign up for the newsletter or take a peek at our list of trusted vendors. Alright, so we've covered some of the big names, but let's take the second half of this video covering 5 lesser-known hidden gems, or lesser-looked-at hidden gems, rather. First, Latvia. This one might surprise you, but the most common path to residency is through an investment. While you can find a residency visa with no minimum stay requirement, the most common route is the Latvia Golden Visa, which starts with an investment of at least €50,000 in a business plus a €10,000 state fee. It's affordable, but you have to be ready for the investment. Then there's Slovenia. This is an enchanting country that requires a reasonable €1,000 a month in income. You can be hiking in the Alps in the morning and swimming in the Adriatic Sea in the afternoon. It's an outdoor lover's paradise. The catch, the language, is notoriously difficult. If you're dyslexic like my mom, it might feel impossible. And I suppose we'd be remiss to mention France. It has to go on the list somewhere. We love it more every time we visit. The healthcare system's fantastic. Their visitor visa asks for around €1,400 a month in income. A common pitfall, however, is that you also need ironclad proof of housing, like a 12-month rental agreement, which is a requirement you'll find for visas in Portugal and Spain as well. You also can't work on this visa. Okay, so with all of those details spread out for you, let's try and bring it into focus. What would the best country really be? If your pension is under €1,200 a month, your choices are pretty much Portugal and maybe France, if you have enough savings to prove financial stability. If you need sunshine, then Portugal would be the clear winner there. If your income's between €1,500 and €2,500 a month, it's a showdown between Spain and Greece. Choose Greece if the 7% tax break and travel flexibility are top priorities. And you can go for Spain if you want vibrant culture and generally warmer, more social atmosphere. And if you're fortunate enough to have a pension in over €3,000 a month, then Austria and Italy are your lifestyle choices. Austria for those who value order, safety, and more pristine nature. Italy for those who really want that culture, but a bit more chaos. Now, breaking it down another way, for top-tier healthcare, Austria and Italy are considered standouts. For visa ease, Portugal has the lowest income bar. For visa ease, Portugal's generally looked at for a great income bar, while Greece's potential for travel flexibility is a plus. And for tax savings, Greece's 7% flat tax rate is unbeatable in the wake of Portugal having lost its NHR. As for language pain, all these countries want you to learn their language, so you're pretty much just picking which language is your favorite. Although Portugal is generally considered the most forgiving in this aspect. Now, what did any of this video come down to? The honest truth. There is no single best country to retire in. And all of these countries that we've looked at today, we've only really scratched the surface. It comes down to what you think is best for your bank balance, your lifestyle, and your personal taste. My advice is simply run the numbers yourself. Run your numbers honestly for you. We always recommend building in a cushion of 20 to 25% of your fixed income. If your projected expenses for rent, insurance, and groceries eat up more than 75 or 80% of your income, that country probably shouldn't be on your list. That buffer is for life changes or rent hikes and exchange rates that you didn't plan for. Once you've narrowed it down, book a scouting trip, and not just like a week in the summer. Go for a month and try and see it in 2 different seasons. February in Latvia is very different from July. Finally, and this is the most important advice I can give you, talk to 3 expats who moved this year, not 5 years ago. Rules and regulations change incredibly fast. Ask them your questions. What are the actual wait times for healthcare? What's the deal with internet service? What questions do they think that you should be asking them? These are the real-life details that matter. This journey is about finding your perfect fit. So do your homework, listen to your gut, and don't be afraid to ask more awkward questions. As always, see you in the next one. We should have done this sooner. It'll be fun. Vai ser divertido.